Now, constructors are a special kind of functions that we mention in a class, which we use generally for initialization. They are the functions which are having the same name as that of the class, or if you know that, functions having same name as that of class. Now, why do we need these functions and what happens? They are automatically called whenever any object is created of the class. They are going to be automatically called. You don't specifically need to call them. They are called automatically whenever an object of the class is created. These are called as constructors in the class, and we will be using them for initialization purposes. So whenever an object associated with the class is created, the constructor would be called automatically. If I'm just trying to see an example, if I just create a class, say numbers, and within the class I'm say having two numbers A and B, and I want a constructor to be declared, so I'm mentioning, say, I'm having same as the class name numbers is a constructor here where I'm initializing A to be 0 supposedly and B also to be 0. And I will be having other things in the class ends. Whenever I am creating an object of the class numbers, X supposedly, whenever I am doing this, automatically the constructor of the class will be called and the members A and B will be initialized to whatever I am mentioning. I am mentioning it to be 0 in this case. So constructors are nothing but they are the functions which are basically used for initialization or maybe calling some other initialization functions, invoking other functions, etc. And data members ko ya data functions ko, they give a base point to begin with. These are the constructors. Constructors can be of many types. Before moving on to the type of constructors, let us just see what are various properties that a constructor may have or may not have. So various properties that a constructor may have. The properties are important because they provide us with details of how we can use them and how we cannot use them. So the properties that we are having, first of all, you have to make sure that constructor is always defined in the public part. Public section में ही आप इसे define करेंगे. Make sure it can be inline, it can be outline, that is up to you. आप class के अंदर define करें या class के बाहर, up to you. But it has to be declared, defined, whatever you are doing, it has to be done in the public section and not in the private section. Otherwise, it won't be working correctly. So they are invoked automatically whenever the object is created. You don't need to call them, although we will show explicit and implicit call to the constructor, but both the calls happen only when they're invoked automatically when object of the class is created. These two possibly all of you are already knowing. Another property is that they do not have return type, so they cannot return anything. They essentially do not have any return type. They can never return anything. Then we have a property that they cannot be inherited. We will be doing inheritance shortly, but they cannot be inherited. If I am having a derived class, then derived class object cannot be used to call the constructor of the derived class object will not be, the derived class object will not be inheriting the constructor of this class. Although even after saying this, derived class can call the base class constructor. They cannot be inherited, but derived class can certainly call base class constructor. It can be, we'll see how it can be done. They can call the base class constructors. but the constructors are not inherited. I will repeat that. They are not inherited. Even after being in the public section, they are not inherited. We'll do this when we are going to the inheritance in more details. Like any other function, they can have default arguments. All of you know what are default arguments. We have covered that part. So if you are missing some arguments, they can have default arguments. They cannot be virtual. Again, what are virtual functions? We'll do very shortly. So they cannot be virtual. They are not virtual functions, not a possibility. And we cannot refer to their address. Just a function pointers we have recently seen. We cannot refer to their address. हम क्लास के बाकी फंक्शंस को एज अ फंक्शन पॉइंटर पॉइंट करके किसी और फंक्शन में एज एन आर्गुमेंट पास कर सकते हैं, बट वी कैन नॉट रेफर टू द एड्रेस of a point of a constructor. It is not possible to refer to its address. So constructor का function pointer create नहीं करा जा सकता. That is what I'm trying to say. These are the various properties of constructors. Hope all of you are getting them. One by one we'll be trying to see other things also. So when I'm having the properties, after having the properties, let's see what are the various types of constructors. Let us try to understand. There are default constructor. Even when we have not mentioned any constructor within a class, the compiler itself has its default constructor. Then we have parameterized constructors, and then we have copy constructors. Let us just see what all of them mean. Default constructor, parameterized constructor, or a copy constructor. I'm taking the same class. Essentially, the way that it goes is that we create class names using capital letters. The first letter of the name of the class we generally use as capital letters so that we can later on identify it as a normal variable or it is referring to a class name. It is not necessary. If you don't give capital, it will not give any error in the program. General tendency to use it in programming way so that your program can be understood later on also is that we use capital letters for writing the name of the class, especially the beginning. So let us see, I'm having again the same two integers a and b. In the public section, now I'm defining the constructors. Now the one constructor is that I'm having numbers. See, we can also do declaration and definition. So supposedly this is only declaration that since it is not having any return type, I'm not giving it. Another declaration that is there is numbers. And now I am giving some parameters, supposedly x and y. Another declaration over here is numbers. And I am having here numbers reference. What is this? This is copy constructor and other things that might be in the class, and the class is closed. So supposedly after when I'm defining these, so I will be using, since I'm going to define them outside my class, so I'm using numbers. Again, the same scope resolution operator that we use for defining the functions which we define outside the class, which are not inline functions. Constructor can be defined within the class or without the class, but they have to be mentioned in the public part only. So I'm having numbers, again a numbers, and there are no parameters. When a constructor is having no parameters, this is called as a default constructor. A constructor without any parameters is a default constructor. So I'm saying so A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0. I'm initializing them to be 0, suppose. Then I'm having another definition of the constructor. You can see that in the same program, I am doing constructor overloading. All of you recall what is function overloading? When two or more functions are having the same name, but they are differentiated by the number and the type of the parameters, that is function overloading. Similarly, we can have constructor overloading. We could have a single constructor in the program. We could have no constructor, then the compiler creates its own default constructor only. And if you are mentioning, then you might give only this constructor, only this, it is up to you. I am giving you the types, I'm explaining. These are all given in the same class also. So this is constructor overloading also. And we are trying to see that this is a default constructor. Now a constructor with parameters is called as a parameterized constructor. So here I am saying that A is equal to X, B is equal to Y. And in the third part, supposedly, I am having it as a copy constructor. Copy constructor essentially means when I am going to have the reference of the object of the same class as a parameter, then it is known as a copy constructor. Now, when I'm going to create copy constructor, I'm doing nothing but I'm doing here. The parameter is of type numbers, and I'm having a reference here and I'm mentioning supposedly say I, any variable I'm giving. So here I am saying that A is equal to I dot A, and I'm saying that B is equal to I dot B. So what is happening in this? I am copying the contents of another object into the object whatever is being created. Now let us see how the objects are being created and called. Supposedly now I'm having my void main. Within the main, I am creating the objects. So now for class numbers, I am creating supposedly a class A. No parameter is being given here. Can you clearly see? I'm not giving any parameter. So here, since I'm not giving any parameter, anything, the default constructor is called automatically. When I'm mentioning numbers and I'm creating supposedly B and I'm mentioning say 10 and 20 here. So I'm calling the parameterized constructor automatically again. How and what will be happening, we'll just see. And then I'm having numbers and I'm saying C is created and here I'm passing B as the parameter. See, I'm not passing a pointer or anything. Please understand. And there might be other things also. So let us see. And if we print each and every one of them, so what will be the output? Let us try to just see what is happening here. As I have again and again mentioned, this is an example of default constructor. This is an example of parameterized constructor. And this is representing a copy constructor. So we are trying to show three constructors here. We are having default, parameterized, and copy. I have defined all the constructors outside the class. So I'm using a scope resolution operator. The same thing could have been done inside the class also. It is completely up to you. I've just declared the constructors here and then I have defined them outside the class. You could have defined them again inside the class also, completely fine. Now what happens is, when I'm creating the object A, the members small a and b for the class A, they have the value 0 because the default constructor gets called automatically by this. When I'm creating the object A, I'm not passing any parameters. So automatically the function which is not having any parameters is called, and the A of, if I'm creating in memory A, then within the memory, A and B for the object A are getting 0 values as per the default constructor. When I'm creating the object B and I'm passing the parameters, then I am automatically calling the parameterized constructor. So at the runtime, it is being decided which constructor is being called. So this is clearly dynamic initialization that we have done right now. And which constructor is being called is defined at the runtime. So B may we are passing 10 and 20 as the parameters. So A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. So when B is created, the parameters for the object B get the values 10 and 20. Now when I am creating C, please see I am passing B as a parameter. If I am passing B as a parameter, B is an object of the same class. Within a constructor, I can never accept an argument as the object of the same class. I am again repeating, I cannot accept the object of the same class as parameter within a constructor. So what am I doing? I'm only accepting it as a reference. I'm not accepting the entire object as it is. If you do it like this, you will get an error. It is not allowed. So you are just passing a reference is being accepted. This is not a pointer again. This is only a reference to the object that you are passing over here. So the reference to the object B is created in A, and A is equal to I dot A and B is equal to I dot B. You are doing nothing, but you are copying the contents of B into C. That is why this is known as the copy constructor. That is why we call this as the copy constructor. So when we are creating C gets the same values as they are in B by using the copy constructor, which is being called. If you are anywhere not able to understand this, let us
copy constructor समझ नहीं आया.
I again explain the copy constructor one more time. Don't worry. If you want to write the proper definition of the copy constructor, just let me give that to you first, so that you all know what we are saying. So copy constructor is a constructor that takes a reference to the object of the same class as an argument. I am again saying copy constructor is one which takes reference to the object of the same class as argument. Such a constructor is known as a copy constructor. Copy constructor is a constructor which takes the reference to the object of the same class as an object, called as a copy constructor. Copy constructor does nothing, but as I am saying, when I am saying that I want to create two objects of a class and I want to say that 1 is equal to 2, how do I do that? Either I write it like this, or there is one more method of doing this, or I could even write numbers. Say I'm creating a class D over here is equal to A. When I'm saying D is equal to A, then also the copy constructor will be called, because it is at the time when I'm declaring D. This time also the copy constructor is being called and D is created. And here I am saying that since A was having it to be 0 only, so D is also having it to be 0. But D is created as a separate object. Now, supposedly, now if I am saying that numbers, I'm saying that some E and I'm calling it for say 30, 40. And later on, I'm saying that C is equal to E. Here, the copy constructor is not called. Please understand. C is equal to E will not call the copy constructor क्योंकि आपने C को यहाँ create नहीं करा. You are not declaring it as an object. The object is not created in this line. But when I am saying that numbers D is equal to A, at this time the copy constructor is called. This is how the copy constructor is working. Copy constructor means nothing but that reference to the object of the same class is given as an argument. उस argument के parameters you try to copy into the current object. So what happens is you are copying the argument I into the argument whatever the object you are creating. Simply as you are saying number C is B. So C has the contents copied from B. As you are saying D is equal to it, D has the contents copied. Now when I am saying that I am creating E over here and I am passing 30 and 40 as the arguments over here. When I say C is equal to E, I again am clearly mentioning that copy constructor is not called, although C will be having now contents which are being copied as 30 and 40. If you now try to print the contents, C's contents will change its value. But this is what happens due to the assignment operator. सारे members one by one दोनों objects के copy हो जाते हैं. But it is not calling the copy constructor. It is not the same as this. This calls the copy constructor and D is equal to A. When you are creating the object, this also calls the copy constructor. Is it now making sense to all of you? Doesn't matter. There are two methods of calling the constructors. Constructors can be called implicitly or explicitly. You can have implicit call to a constructor or explicit call to a constructor. What do I mean by the implicit and explicit call? Supposedly you are having your class integer or numbers or whatever class you are having. Within the class you are having some members, whatever is there. Now here you are having in the public section, you will be having numbers, and supposedly you are having some integer a and b. Same, I'm having a is 0, b is 0. This is a default constructor that I'm taking for the example currently. The class might be having some more functions. I'm stopping it. So when I'm calling, there are two methods. Supposedly within main, I'm creating the objects. Whenever the object will be created, the default constructor will automatically be called. You did not do that separately. So for numbers, either I can simply write n. This is an implicit call to the constructor. You don't have to do anything here. There goes an implicit call to the constructor. You are just creating the object and the implicit call to the constructor is done. You don't have to do anything. Or you can also do, yeah, supposedly it is having some values, int x and y, and you are mentioning a is equal to x, b is equal to y. Here you are giving the values say 10, 20. So this is implicit call to the constructor. You could also have done that numbers, supposedly n2 is equal to numbers, and you are mentioning say 30, 40. So what has happened in this case is, within this case and whatever else happens. So this kind is called as explicit call to the constructor. Explicit call means you have mentioned the constructor as the function name and you have mentioned the parameters also. Here you have not mentioned the name of the constructor or anything. You are simply giving the parameters with the object name. This is the shortened way of writing the same thing. This is an implicit call. That is an explicit call. Both are completely valid syntax and both can be used in the programs. Generally, we are using the implicit call method, but both are working in the very similar manner. So you can do both. Now let us see an example. Suppose, I hope such examples you have all done earlier also. Let's see the example. Classes, you have to create, read complex numbers, find their sum and print them. So I'm creating a class complex. Within the class, I'm taking the real and the imaginary part. Supposedly I'm taking it to be a float. So I'm taking float real and float imaginary part. You can take it any of your choice. I'm having public part within which I will be having my constructors. So I'm having the constructor complex. Since it is within the class, I don't need any scope resolution operator or anything. Now here I'm not passing any parameters. This is my default constructor. And within the default constructor, I'm saying that both are supposedly 0 only. I am having another parameterized part where I'm having float x and supposedly float y, where I'm mentioning they are having space. And I'm saying that real is equal to x, imaginary is equal to y. Since it is constructor overloading, it might be possible I pass only a single argument. And I'm saying that r is equal to y is equal to x. Yeah, I'm having both as same the real and the imaginary parts. After doing this, I will be having other functions also. Supposedly, I am creating a function sum. I am having some void sum, which reads two objects as parameters. Let me, it is going to create two objects as parameters. So here I am having complex C1, complex C2. I am taking two objects, though both of which I want to sum. Third is the one which is calling. So how do I mention the real part is equal to C1's real part plus C2's real part. Now बहुत सारे R हैं यहाँ पे, बहुत सारे objects involved हैं. So to clarify this, we use this pointer, and whenever I'm using pointers to refer to any data member, we use the arrow operator instead of the dot operator. So this R is C1.R plus C2.R, and this imaginary part is equal to C1.I plus C2.I. This is my sum. Supposedly there is some function show also. So I will be having the function show also. So a function void show, and I am printing Cout real is equal to say your real part, and imaginary is equal to your imaginary part. Okay? And you close the class over here. So the class is now closed. Class ends here. Now you will be having your main that will be calling the constructors, and that will be using, and that will be summing the objects. So let's see what happens is I'm having my main. Within my main, I'm creating the objects of the class complex. So I'm creating complex C1. Now C1 is calling the default constructor. I'm creating the class complex, so C2, and I'm calling 1.1, 2.2. This is going to call my, there are two parameterized constructors, but since two parameters are given, I'm going to call this. And I'm again creating another object, so C3, which is supposedly passing only a single argument, so that it is going to call the third function. Constructor overloading mein, according to the number of arguments, the correct constructor will be called. Now I am saying that C1 dot sum, I'm calling C1 dot sum, I am passing C2 and C3 as parameters. Now I am calling the C1, C2 dot show, C3 dot show, and I'm calling C1 dot show. Since all of them are the public parts, so I can call them using the objects using the dot operator. So this is my function that is ended. Now when I will be going to execute this, what happens in that case is, initially I would be creating object C1. C1 will be having my 0 and 0 as the real and imaginary part. Then in the next line, I will be creating object C2 using this particular call of this particular constructor, which is having two parameters. So I will be creating C2 with the values 1.1 for real and 2.2 for the imaginary part. Then I will, when I am creating C3 using the same value in both the parts, are real and imaginary, both are 3.3. Now I am calling C1 dot sum. C1 dot sum is being called. C2 and C3 are taken as the parameters here. So now C2, this C1 is replaced by C2. Whatever you're having, you're adding C2's value, C3 ki value, imaginary and real, and this pointer will point to C1. This pointer, अब यहाँ पे C1 becomes the this pointer. C2 जो है वो currently is referred by the local name for the function C1. C3 is referred by the local name of the function C2. So when I'm copying here this dot R, C1 के R में I'm copying 1.1 plus 3.3. So this is replaced by 4.4. Similarly, when I'm copying the imaginary parts, this pointer is pointing to C1 here. I'm adding the imaginary part, so this becomes 5.5. So now when you are calling show, after this function has returned, function से return हो गए, ये pointers remove हो गए, ये local variables से हट गए. Now when I am calling C2 dot show, you will be having real is equal to 1.1, imaginary is equal to 2.2. C3 dot show, you will be having real is equal to 3.3, imaginary is equal to 3.3. And when you have finally C1 dot show, you will be having real is equal to 4.4 and imaginary is equal to 5.5. So this is how a small function is working, where I'm using constructors. I'm overloading the constructor. There is a default constructor. There is a parameterized constructor. I have passed the object of the same class as argument to a function of the class which is not the constructor. I'm again repeating, अगर आपको same class का object as a function pass करना है, then it has to be passed as a reference only, and such a constructor is called as a copy constructor, which I have not used in the current program. So to sum two parameters, I'm taking the two objects of the same class as parameter. I am adding them because objects. हाँ बेटा. Now object is referring to real part and object is referring to the imaginary part. But since this is defined within the class, C1 and C2 can use the R and I parts. R और I private members and data members हैं. And through the object I am referring to the private data members. But where I am referring them? Within the class itself. Within the class I can do that. This will not give me any error. If here I am trying to see, if here I try to say that cout c1.r, then it is going to give me an error. This is not going to 1. If I am trying to print c1.r from the outside the class, then I cannot access private members using the object of the class. This is not allowed. But within the class, I can be using any members by any object of the class also. So this dot r, this dot I is referring to the calling function. C1 is calling sum, so C1 dot sum है. So C1 is the calling function. So this pointer is pointing to C1 here. C1 में C2 कॉपी हुआ है और C2 में C3 कॉपी हुआ है यहाँ पे. After the calculation, the result is automatically there with C1. When you will be doing C1 dot show, you will be getting the added real and imaginary parts as the answer. Is it clear to all of you? Anybody, any kind of doubt?